Hey, Smarty Pants, let me ask you something. Has this ever happened to you? You're in your room, minding your own business, when your mother or father or grandma or grandpa comes in and says,
"Holy sweat socks! It smells like an old gymnasium in here."
To which you say,
"What are you talking about? I don't smell anything."
To which they say,
"You need to get your nose checked. It smells so bad. I can practically see it. Ugh. And there's rotten food under your bed. There's a small tree growing out of that cup that's been sitting on your desk for 3 months. When was the last time you took a bath?"
And yet, despite all that, you insist.
Nope, it smells fine to me.
So, who's right?
I am.
Nope, I am.
Well, what would you say if I said, you're both right? Your room does smell like a dirty foot covered in moldy cheese.
Hey.
But it's true, you don't smell it.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, but it's also totally normal. You know why? Because that's how your sense of smell works. And everyone's is a little bit different. It's why you can't smell yourself, but you can smell other people. But what is smell? Why do you need it? And how does it affect the food you eat?
Yum.
You guessed it. It's time for another whiff of science on
Who smarted? Who's smarted? Who's smart? Is it you? Is it me? Is it science or history? Listen up, everyone. We make smarting lots of fun on Who Smarted?
Ah, another beautiful day. I don't know about you, kid, but I like to start my day off with a nice, big breakfast. First, some freshly squeezed orange juice. Next, I cook up some crunchy bacon and perfectly fried eggs. And some delicious buttery toast. Voila, the breakfast of champions. Oh, that's good. One question, though. As I was making my breakfast, could you almost smell each individual food? The OJ being poured. The bacon and eggs sizzling in the pan. The buttery toast. Is your mouth starting to water just thinking about it? Yep, me too. There's just one thing. I'm not actually making breakfast. I'm just naming foods and playing sound effects. I was just pretending to have food in my mouth.
Acting. Thank you.
So, how can hearing about foods make you smell them?
I don't know.
It's because your sense of smell is so powerful. In fact, it's the only sense connected directly to your brain. Yep, not even your eyes are connected directly to your brain. To find out how smell works, let's meet the organ responsible for it all, your nose.
Chill.
Gesundheit.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry to bother you, Nose. I know you're busy detecting smells and breathing and whatnot, but I was hoping you could answer some questions.
With pleasure. What do you want to know?
Nice one. What can you tell us about our sense of smell?
Smell is the most primitive of the 5 senses you have. It's the very first sense you use after you're born. And 1 out of every 50 genes in your body is dedicated to it.
Wow. So how does it work exactly?
Whenever you smell something, your brain and I, meaning your nose, work together to make sense of hundreds of tiny invisible particles floating in the air known as molecules or chemicals. If we sniff, these molecules travel into your nose and to the roof of your nostrils. And that's where the magic happens. Inside your nostrils, there are tiny little things called neurons that talk to each other using electrical messages. And these neurons are always fresh and ready to work. In fact, they're the only neurons in your body that get replaced regularly every month or 2.
Hit the bricks, old neurons. We got new recruits starting today.
That's a lot of replacing. So what do these neurons do?
Each smelling neuron, or olfactory neuron, connects with a different neuron in the olfactory bulb at the top of your nasal cavity, which sits right under your brain. This information is sent to different areas all around the brain, including areas that also store memories and provoke emotions.
It's It's just so smelly.
Is that why if I smell fresh apple pie baking in an oven, I always think of visiting my grandmother's house?
Exactly. Smell and memory go hand in hand. Or should I say, nose in brain? That's a little nose humor. But that's why sub-smells make us feel scared, like the smell of smoke.
Ah, fire!
Or make us feel happy, like the smell of flowers.
Roses.
The smell of freshly mowed lawn can even help us feel relaxed.
Amazing. Hey, kid, what are your favorite smells? It could be a special place like the beach, or a newly mowed soccer field, or fresh baked cookies, or popcorn at the movies. Go ahead, shout out your favorite smells. I'm listening. Wow, those are all great smells, except whatever joker yelled out a poop diaper. Funny, but not a great smell.
But that does bring up an interesting point. Not all smells are pleasant, and there's a good reason for that. Bad smells are signals to your brain that something is wrong. It could mean your dinner is burning,
Oh no, my meat cake.
or the baby's diaper needs to be changed.
P.U. Someone needs a fresh diaper.
Interesting. So here's the big question. How is it that both our mom and our kid were right when it came to that smelly bedroom?
Holy sweat socks! It smells like an old gymnasium in here.
But to you, it doesn't smell at all.
What are you talking about? I don't smell anything.
To find out why you don't smell yourself, stick around. And now, back to Who Smarted. Okay, we're back. So why is it your mom or dad can smell your smelly room, but to you it smells fine?
Ah, that's called olfactory fatigue. It basically means your brain gets tired of sending the same signal over and over and doesn't want to overload the system in case a new, more important smell needs to get detected. Like if you walk into a restaurant.
Buongiorno. Let me show you to your table, huh? This way.
At first, the odor of the food might smell very strong.
Wow, smell that garlic.
But over time, your awareness of it fades to the point where it's hardly noticeable. That way, you can smell more important things, like if the food isn't cooked right when it comes to your table.
Excuse me, waiter. This fish smells a little fishy.
Oh, perhaps the lasagna instead, eh?
Speaking of restaurants, is it true that smell and taste are connected?
Oh, they sure are. But I think most kids already know this, which is why most of you listening hold your noses when eating broccoli or lima beans or, spinach. The same thing happens when you have a cold and your nose, me, is all blocked up. Everything just tastes bland.
Phew. This pizza tastes like the box at K-Bid.
So why is that the case?
Well, if you can't smell your food, your brain doesn't get the same signals and your tongue can't detect all of the flavors. In fact, you can test this phenomenon at home. Yeah, go ahead. Grab some foods with similar textures but different flavors like banana yogurt and strawberry yogurt, or different colored jelly beans. Get someone to help you and be the judge. Start by closing your eyes and plugging your nose while you taste the items. Can you tell the difference between the purple jelly beans and the green ones? Not as easy without your trusty nose, is it? That's because without your sense of smell, everything tastes pretty much the same.
I'm sure glad my nose is working.
Well, enjoy it, because when you're bored, you can detect over 10,000 smells. But over time, you lose your sense of smell a little bit with each passing year. Kids can detect more smells than adults. But do you know which animal has the best sense of smell?
Hey, Smarty Pants, which animal do you think has the best sense of smell? Did you say a dog? That's a great guess, but not exactly. For this, we're looking for an animal with a really big nose and a really big brain. What animal has a super long nose and a big brain? That's right, the elephant. The African elephant, to be precise. Elephants not only have the best sense of smell on the planet, they also have the longest nose and a pretty big brain to make sense of all of those smells. But is having the best sense of smell the same as being able to smell things that are far away? Quick quiz. Which animal holds the record for how far away it can detect a smell? Is it A, an elephant? B, a whale? C, a moth? Or D, a dog? Once again, it's not the dog. And it's not the elephant. Or the whale. That means the correct answer is the moth. Despite being only a few inches wide, a male moth can smell a female moth over 6 miles away.
Yeah, well, if moths can smell so good, how come they like to fly around in this stinky closet? It's disgusting.
Mom.
A big shout out to Zachariah and Jenna in Brooklyn. Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe today in your favorite podcast app. It helps us grow and it makes sure you don't miss a single episode. And go to whosmarted.com to get your free activity guide for every single episode. This episode's smell was written by Jason Williams and voiced by Kim Davis, Gia Davis, Jason Williams, Charlotte Cohn, Brandon Bayless, Adam Tex Davis, and Josh Hahn, and narrated by Jerry Colbert. Technical direction and sound design by Josh Hahn. Associate producer, Max Kamaski. Who Smarted was recorded and mixed at the Relic Room Studio. Theme song by Brian Suarez. Lyrics written and performed by Adam Tex Davis. Who Smarted was created and produced by Adam Tex Davis and Jerry Colbert. This has been an Atomic Entertainment production.